Good morning. This is Pastor Zach with the Goodland United Methodist Church with your morning devotion for Monday, December 4th. Today we'll be reading from the Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things came into being through him, and without him not one thing came into being. What has come into being in him was life, and the life was the light of all people. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not overcome it. I'm going to share with you off and on throughout the Advent season some readings from different authors of Advent reflections that I've picked up over the years. This one's called Why This Jubilee, subtitled Advent Reflections on Songs of the Season by James C. Howell. And this one is called Yet in Thy Dark Streets Shineth. He says, what time of day was Jesus born? Carols seem to unanimously agree it was in the middle of the night. It came upon the midnight clear. The stars in the sky looked down where he lay. Silent night, wondrous star, lend thy light. The first Noel happened on a cold winter's night. So why might God chose a place of darkness? Maybe the rationale is found in the less familiar Christ is the world's light, which lauds Christ for entering the darkness to become our brother. An increasingly popular hymn sings, I want to walk as a child of the light. The star of my life is Jesus, in him there is no darkness at all. Darkness serves as far more than a symbol. Who's afraid of the dark? Children in their beds and grown-ups in their beds. Things go bump in the night, and I shiver when my mind plays mean-spirited games on me in the dark. God showing up in the dark is considered comfort to us. In Psalm 56:8, a struggling insomniac trusts in God. You have kept count of my tossings, but my tears have been put in your bottle. We need God in the dark. Emmanuel, God with us. How fitting the carols are situated in the dark. How fitting that the longest night of the year falls during Advent. The nights grow longer and longer throughout December, but then just a couple of days before Christmas, there's a barely detectable turn. After the winter solstice, sunrise is just a fraction earlier, sunset a few moments later. The light is growing. One of the darkest Advents ever had to be the one of 1941. Winston Churchill had come to visit President Franklin Roosevelt, two political giants trying to devise a plan to thwart Nazi and Japanese aggression and rescue Western civilization. Noticing the decorative lights on houses around America, the British Prime Minister caught in their slight flickering a glimpse of hope in the dreary darkness of the world plunged into war. Then on Christmas morning he and Roosevelt went to church, and Churchill heard for the first time, O little town of Bethlehem. He was deeply moved. In December our streets are unusually bright, from the glittering of twinkle lights hanging from trees, candled wreaths perched in windows, and garlands of lights strung from roofs and doors. Perhaps as we take in the lights we will witness God's love and feel the presence of hope even in the darkest days of history or of our own lives, and see more deeply the everlasting light that in the dark streets shineth. No matter what our experience is with church, whether we're a regular churchgoer or never go at all, there's something about the lights this time of year that draw us in, that connect us with something bigger than ourselves. So as we drive up and down the streets and see the lights of Christmas, let us draw closer to the light of God this season. Have a blessed day.